You love your cat. That much is obvious. You feed them, you shelter them, you probably talk to them like they understand every word, and honestly, maybe they do. But here is the thing nobody wants to say out loud. Love is not always enough. Because right now, today, millions of cat owners who genuinely adore their pets are doing something that quietly damages the bond between them. Not once, not occasionally, every single day. And the worst part, they have absolutely no idea. This is not about abuse. This is not about neglect. This is about the small, ordinary, completely well-intentioned habits that you have built into your daily routine. Habits that feel harmless, maybe even affectionate, but that your cat experiences in a completely different way than you intend. Cats do not process the world the way we do. They do not forgive the way we do. And unlike a dog, who will shake off a bad experience and come bounding back to you with a wagging tail, a cat quietly files it away. They remember. They adjust. They slowly begin to trust you a little less each time, and you never even see it happening. That is what makes this so dangerous. There is no dramatic moment, no obvious sign that something has shifted. Just a cat who used to sleep on your chest and now sleeps across the room. A cat who used to greet you at the door and now watches from a distance. A cat who used to purr the moment you reached for them and now flinches, just slightly. Just for a second before they let you touch them. You chalk it up to mood, to personality, to the mysterious nature of cats, but it is not mystery. It is memory, so let us talk about what you are actually doing. Because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. And more importantly, once you understand why your cat responds the way they do, you will never go back to your old habits again. The first thing most owners do, and this one is going to surprise you, is stare. Direct, sustained eye contact. You look at your cat because you love them, because they are beautiful and strange and endlessly fascinating. You lock eyes with them from across the room and you feel connected. What you do not realize is that in the world your cat comes from, in the behavioral language, hardwired into every cell of their body. Direct, unbroken eye contact is not a sign of love. It is a sign of threat. It is what a predator does before it strikes. It is what a dominant cat does before a fight begins. So, when you stare at your cat with pure adoration in your eyes, your cat is reading something very different. They are reading danger. They are reading challenge. And every time that happens, something small inside them tightens. The fix is almost embarrassingly simple. Slow blink. Look at your cat, then slowly close your eyes and open them again. That is the cat equivalent of a smile. That is how cats tell each other, I am not a threat. I trust you. I am at peace with you. When you slow blink at your cat and they slow blink back, that is not a cute quirk. That is a conversation. That is your cat choosing to speak your language because you were willing to speak theirs first. The second habit is one that every single person reading this has done. Probably this week, possibly today. Picking your cat up when they do not want to be picked up. Now before you get defensive, understand this. It is not about whether your cat tolerates it. Tolerance is not the same as comfort. Tolerance is not the same as trust. When a cat is lifted off the ground against their will, they lose all 4 points of contact with a surface they control. They become suspended in air, dependent entirely on a creature much larger than them to keep them safe. Even if that creature is you. Even if they know you, because instinct does not care about your relationship history. Instinct says, paws on the ground means safety. Paws off the ground means vulnerability. And a cat who is made to feel vulnerable repeatedly, consistently, daily, starts to become a cat who avoids the person who makes them feel that way. Watch your cat before you reach for them. Are they relaxed? Are they approaching you? Are they making contact on their own terms? Those are green lights. But if they are walking away, if their tail is low, if their ears are even slightly back, that is them telling you, in the only language they have, not right now. The owners who learn to read those signals are the owners whose cats choose to be near them. Not because they have to, because they want to. The third thing is noise. And not the noise you think. Not the vacuum cleaner or the smoke alarm. Cats hate those, obviously, and you probably already know it. The noise, I mean, is your voice. Specifically, the pitch of your voice when you get excited around your cat. That high, fast, loud babble that humans naturally produce when they see something adorable. The sudden exclamations, the sharp bursts of sound. To you, it is enthusiasm. To your cat, it is alarm. Cats communicate in slow, soft, measured sounds when they are at ease. They communicate in fast, high, sharp sounds when something is wrong. So every time you squeal with delight at your cat, their nervous system is registering. Something is happening, something fast, something loud. Be ready. Over time, this creates a cat who is perpetually slightly on edge around you. Not afraid, exactly. Just never fully relaxed. And a cat who cannot fully relax in your presence is a cat who will always keep just a little distance between you. Not because they do not love you, but because their body will not let them settle. Now here is where it gets uncomfortable, because the next habit is one that people defend the hardest, the one where, when you explain the damage it causes, someone in the comments always says, "But my cat loves it." And maybe yours does. Maybe you have one of the rare cats who genuinely enjoys this. But the vast majority do not. And the vast majority of their owners have simply never noticed the difference between a cat who loves something and a cat who has given up trying to escape it. The habit is forced cuddling. Holding your cat against their bodies, protests. Wrapping your arms around them when they are pushing away. Keeping them in your lap when every muscle in their body is tensed toward the exit. You do it because you love them. You do it because you want closeness. You do it because sometimes you have had a hard day. And your cat is warm and soft, and for just a few minutes you need that comfort. And that is deeply human. That is completely understandable. But your cat does not know you had a hard day. Your cat only knows that they are being physically restrained by something stronger than them and that their signals to stop are being ignored. That is not a small thing. In the animal world, physical restraint means one thing. It means you have been caught. It means the situation is serious, and when that experience gets attached to you, to your face, to your smell, to the sound of your voice calling their name, your cat begins to build an association you never intended to create. They begin to link you with that feeling of being trapped. And once that link exists, it rewires everything. The way they respond when you walk into a room, the way they react when you reach for them, the way they calculate every single time whether coming close to you is safe. Watch for the signs. A tail that begins to flick. Ears that rotate backward. Paws that press against you, not in a needing way, but in a pushing way. Eyes that are wide and scanning. Skin that ripples along their back. These are not random. These are a conversation your cat is having with you in the only language available to them. And every time that conversation is ignored, they learn something about you. They learn that their communication does not matter to you. They learn that their discomfort is not enough to make you stop. And slowly, quietly, they stop trying to tell you anything at all. The cats who seem cold and distant and unaffectionate are very often not built that way. They were taught that way. By someone who loved them. By someone exactly like you. The fifth habit is one that lives in the details of your home and your schedule. And it is this: unpredictability. Cats are creatures of extraordinary routine. Not because they are boring. Because they are intelligent. Because a brain that is wired to hunt, to survive, to read its environment for threats, needs a stable baseline in order to feel safe. When that baseline is constantly shifting, when feeding time moves, when the furniture gets rearranged, when loud guests arrive without warning, when your own mood swings from calm to frantic to exhausted within the same evening, your cat's nervous system is working overtime every single day just to keep up. And here is what nobody tells you about chronic low-level stress in cats. It does not look like obvious distress. It does not look like cowering in a corner or refusing to eat. It looks like a cat who is fine. A cat who is just a little more withdrawn than they used to be. A cat who sleeps a little more, plays a little less. Sits just slightly further from you on the couch than they did 6 months ago. It creeps in so slowly, you do not notice until one day you realize your cat does not really seek you out anymore. And you cannot remember when that changed. Routine is not just a preference for cats. It is a biological need. Feeding at the same times, play at predictable intervals, a home where the energy is mostly calm and consistent. These are not luxuries. These are the foundations of a cat who feels genuinely safe. And a cat who feels genuinely safe is a cat who can afford to be affectionate. Because affection requires vulnerability, and vulnerability requires trust, and trust requires a world that behaves the way they expect it to. The sixth habit is perhaps the quietest one on this list, and perhaps the most damaging. It is ignoring your cat when they come to you, because you are busy, because you are on your phone, because you are in the middle of something, and you will get to them in a minute. The thing about that minute is that your cat does not understand it. A cat who approaches you and seeks contact is doing something that costs them something. Cats are not endlessly socially motivated the way dogs are. When a cat chooses to come to you, when they cross the room and put themselves within reach and look up at you, they are making a deliberate choice. They are extending something. And when that extension is met with nothing, when you do not look up, when you do not reach back, when they stand there and then quietly walk away, they register that. They file it. And the next time the impulse to come to you rises up in them, there is now a small weight on the other side of the scale, a memory of the last time, a reason to hesitate. You will not notice the first time, or the fifth, but by the 50th time, your cat has already rewritten their understanding of what you are to them, not because you meant to hurt them, but because in that moment you were somewhere else, and they were right there, and you missed it. Do not miss it. If this video made you see your cat differently, there are things you need to know that most owners never find out. Subscribe, because your cat cannot tell you themselves.